Okay, hi guys and welcome to the show, and today I'm bringing you a really special review, something very unique. Long Island Watches have very kindly, Mark at Long Island Watches have very kindly lent me this extremely rare and special piece. This is the Master Diver from Squale, the flagship of their range, and it's an absolutely stunning watch. Limited edition, only 300 of these watches exist in the world. Quite a rare and unique watch to be able to share with you guys. I'm just absolutely honored and over the moon that I have the privilege of sharing with you this amazing watch. Now, as you know, I'm a recent convert to the Church of Sqaule. I absolutely adore them. I love their heritage. Just unbelievable history. You know, you really got to just check out the brand and have a look at my other watch reviews. It's just a truly amazing, high quality, professional grade dive watch manufacturer, and I just adore them. It's really invigorated my love and appreciation for dive watches, and I just cannot see my collection not having a Sqaule in it. So if you're unfamiliar with the brand, have a look at my previous videos and have a look at the what's available at Long Island Watches. I am, of course, today wearing my 50 Atmos in blue, also because I want to kind of give a reference to the size of this. So anyway, let's have a look at the watch itself. Now, as I said, there's only 300 of the Master Diver available. This reference 2002. This, of course, is the black color scheme. It comes in a variety of colors, including emerald green, and there's a variety of blue ones. This is the stainless steel case. There is a brass kind of I forget the technical name, but there are combinations of really interesting and unique materials that they use. This is the stainless steel version. So inside you'll find the ETA 2892-A2 movement, which of course is the top grade, it's the highest grade ETA, and then on top of that they have Dubois de Prat work on customizing the complication. So inside we have a highly decorated movement. This is fully decorated movement with a skeletonized rotor, as you see there. Absolutely stunning. Now, of course, we can't see the whole movement because the display back here, which of course is sapphire, is quite small. But you know, if you Google images of this particular movement, it's fully decorated, and they've done an absolutely stunning job. You know, it's a shame that you can't see more of it, but I understand, you know, they want to keep it the water rating to its maximum, so hence this quite thick but small display back. So as I said, you have the highly decorated movement. This is Swiss watchmaking at its finest. No expense has been spared. If you're into the movements and you're a real kind of watch nerd, you will appreciate just how much detail and quality and craftsmanship has gone into this particular movement. It really is something special. And in fact, I think this particular watch, they only had 300 or so of these movements, and they built it around the movement. So that's also part of the reason why it's so special, and why there's just not that many of them around. So this is really a unique experience. Now, one of the best things about this watch is its bezel. I believe it's sapphire glass or something over the bezel to give it even an increased protection. And this is not just any normal bezel. This is actually what they call a push and click. So you have to push down quite hard and then click. You know, it's a bezel at that professional level. It's gone that one step further. It's just locks into place. So again, you have to push down and then it clicks. And this is bi-directional as well, so this is quite unique. Just click back into place there, and there's no play on it whatsoever. This truly is one of the best bezels I've ever seen. You know, something you'd expect at this kind of price range. The thing about Sqaule is that they don't make luxury watches. This is a professional watch. They make professional diving tool watches, and this is the epitome of everything that they do so well, all manifested in this masterpiece, flagship of their collection, and understandably so, because everything has been carefully thought out. Another great feature is you see it on the spring bars, they're actually screws to give that extra security. So again, no expense has been spared. And then we have this perforated sports strap. This is actually, it looks like leather, it feels like leather, but it's not leather. This is a special rubber that Squale had made. This is one of those high quality vanilla scented rubber straps that they do so well in Italy. Of course, it's been signed again, and it just smells gorgeous. It has that vanilla smell, and it behaves just like leather, and I'm told it even kind of, you break it in like leather. Again, no expense has been spared. This is 100% water resistant. They specially formulated this rubber for its special qualities of water resistance, and this really belongs in the water. This is a true diving watch. Of course, we have a signed buckle, if this thing will ever get into focus. There we go, signed buckle, and beautiful stitching. It does mimic a leather very, very well. So let's talk a little bit about the size. So we have a diameter of 44 millimeters, so a really big watch. On the lugs, we are talking 20 millimeter lug width. It's quite thick. It comes in at 15 millimeters. Lug to lug, it is 52. So we're talking a really big watch, a really substantial watch. And if we just compare it very quickly to the 50 Atmos, you'll see how it dwarfs the 50 Atmos. Very masculine, very large. I can't really go bigger than a 42. I would love to have to buy this and to own it and to add it to my collection. It would suit my collection down to the ground. But realistically, for me, the skinny wrist, it is too big, and it would become too cumbersome for me personally. Obviously, the watches I tend to buy and keep for myself, they are, for me, they are to suit my scale and size and style. So, sometimes, obviously, people who are like bigger watches or larger, the larger gent is looking for something a little bit more substantial, then something like this is the way to go. So, as you'd expect, we have sapphire glass. This is single-sided coating of anti-reflective. Of course, we have sapphire glass. Super-Luminova. Let's just look really closely on the dial. Let's just get it into nice and focus there. So we have Super-Luminova on the indices here. Now, this isn't any ordinary date window. This actually has a magnifier built in. If we just turn it to the side, it's built into the dial where you see that frame there. There's an actual magnifier underneath the main, just under the dial. So there's no cyclops on the actual outer glass. So that's really, really cool little touch. Let's see if we can get in nice and close there. So Swiss made at the bottom. Then we have these really cool sword style hands just under the second hand. You can't really see it, but actually you can see it there. It just says Master 60 ATM, so referring to its water resistant rating, which of course is 600 meters, 2,000 feet. And then below we have the power reserve scale. So we have maximum, which is 40-hour power reserve. Currently it's at 20. I gave it a full wind about 20 hours ago, so it is extremely accurate. And then they've to give it that little extra bit of class, they've labeled it in French. I'm not going to attempt to. My French is pretty poor, but réservé de marché, I think is how you say it. Forgive my terrible French pronunciation. So let me just remove the dust. So and of course we have Luminova in the little triangle here at the top, and I believe there's a little bit in there at the 6. So that just gives you a reference if you're in low visibility, so you can still figure out, you know, use the bezel as reference. Black dial is kind of glossy, but not overly glossy, and I'm not sure if you can actually pick it up, but this semicircle is matted, so it's the difference between the main dial and the semicircle. It's very subtle. Yeah, there you can see. I think you can see it now. So it's just a nice little touch. Every detail is just impeccably done. Lovely little red hand there, so very easy, legible to read, and it matches the red text here of master. So it's a tiny little detail, but I think it just adds a little pop of color, and I always enjoy seeing that in you know, when they've carefully considered the you know, the color scheme. So of course we have, if this was ever focused, we have the signed crown at Von Boren logo, and of course Sqaule again at the top with the Von Boren logo again. Really cool little squared indices, kind of in keeping with this kind of 70s retro. It is a funny thing, the styling of this watch. It reminds me of like science fiction films from the 70s, like, you know, Silent Running, and I just don't know why, but at the same time it's very modern and you know, doesn't look out of place next to contemporary pieces. So let's look at the case. It's quite a simple case. It's not as curvy and rounded as the 50 Atmos. It's a lot more flat. They've kept it fairly simple. There's really not that much. You know, it's just literally polished at the side and then matted here. But as you would expect, you know, the craftsmanship is second to none. You really feel the quality of this piece. It's unmistakable. I mean, if you didn't know anything about watches or watch brands or anything, you handed this watch to a person, you know, and you asked them how much this watch is worth, it's undoubtedly a high quality item. The craftsmanship is second to none. It feels as solid. It's quite a heavy piece, very, very solid. And this is, of course, without a bracelet. So another really cool thing that adds to its design, of course, is this hexagonal sided ring here to the bezel. This is probably the only part of its design that is kind of apart from these square indices, and you know, it's the only kind of flamboyant part of its design. Everything else is just very utilitarian, whereas this is just gives it that a touch of a flick of flair, of design flair, which it's subtle. You hardly even notice it, but it's there. And it's in keeping with that retro but modern look. I'm not going to do the wrist shot because I'm frightened of I don't want to bend this rubber, and of course I have been lent this purely because I'm a big fan of the brand, and I, you know, it's the only way I can really get my hands on one and to see it in person, and so I'm just enjoying, I'm savouring this moment. And I'm just so pleased I can capture it on film and share it with you guys, because this really is a special, unique piece, and I doubt I'll see one again. Well, fingers crossed. So for me now, I'm, you know, as a Sqaule fan, this is really a special moment. And just before I go, I just want to show you something I really appreciate about this bezel design. These little indices, it's three-dimensional. They're double-sided, and when they catch the light, they just play with the light so elegantly. And look at the way the Luminova is framed here. I mean, there's depth to this bezel. I think there's a layer of probably I think sapphire. I'm gonna have to double check this, but there's definitely a glass over. You know, from what I've heard, this is one of the more expensive ways of making a bezel, and justifiably so, because it's absolutely stunning. I've never seen a bezel like it. Its operation, you know, it's obviously, if you were scuba diving, you're wearing big hefty gloves. You want something you can grip onto, and you know, you don't want something that's going to knock and muck up your as you're measuring time. The emphasis on designing the bezel had to be absolutely impeccable, and I doubt I'll ever see a bezel that is made, designed, and functions like this. This is, you know, this truly is something special. So in summary, what have we got here? We've got, you know, a very rare limited edition, only one of 300, with a highly decorated, highest grade Swiss ETA, but of course customized by Dubois. It's the pinnacle of Swiss watchmaking. You know, Dubois they specialize in customizing ETA movements for and other movements for the likes of Patek, for Jaeger-LeCoultre, you know, a lot of high-end brands. So it is truly something special to get this in such a usable sports watch or professional watch. It's just something very special and unique. No expense has been spared from the rubber, from the case, from the bezel, from the dial, from the complication. And I've got to say, this complication is probably one of the cooler complications to have, and I am seriously considering looking at watches with a power reserve, just because it's so useful, and you know, to be able to manually top it up, and to know that you've got, oh, I've got 20 hours left, you know, you can put it on your bedside, go to sleep, and you don't have to worry about it. Also, obviously, the practical use of having a power reserve. You don't want to be at the diving at the bottom of the ocean and then and you've forgotten to top up your watch. So it does have a practical, you know, almost life-saving quality to having a power reserve. So it's very, very useful. And if you wanted something that is truly unique, I mean, the great thing about this is that a lot of people have submariners, a lot of people have sea dwellers and planet oceans, but this is something completely unique. I doubt very much it's probably a handful just in New York City of these. You know, you're not gonna see this. I doubt, if I was to buy this, for example, and own it for the rest of my life, I doubt very much I'll ever see another one in the flesh. You know, it's just so unique. It's truly something very special, and I'm just so privileged and that Long Island Watches and Mark has honored me with allowing me to film and share this with you guys. So big thank you to Mark. Thank you so much. I was just so excited when I received this, and of course I'm a little bit sad because I'm never going to get to own it, but I know practically that for me it's too big. But if you like big watches and you want to get something truly unique, that nobody, well, very few people have, and that is actually usable and will last a lifetime, you know, this is a heirloom piece, you know, it truly is something special, then I would definitely recommend it. So anyway guys, that's my review of the Master Diver from Sqaule. This currently retails at $2,599 on Long Island Watches, and of course you get the full 2 years warranty and all the rest of it. I can't recommend Long Island Watches enough. They're just unbeatable. Mark is truly a gentleman, so understanding and a pleasure to deal with, and that's why I'm a returning customer. You know, the most important thing is that Mark loves the watches just as much as I do, and when you find a distributor, a retailer like that, you know, you share the passion. It's not just some nameless anonymous store that are just, you know, flogging watches left, right and center. There, it is something special for the collector. So, you know, please check out Long Island Watches. They are absolutely tops. So anyway guys, that has been my review of the Sqaule Master Diver, and I think you'll agree with me, it is absolutely pure class. I only wish I was a larger chap so I could pull off wearing this. I am considering, very strongly considering a diet of hamburgers and pizza just so I can just so I can put on the weight to justify wearing it. It's that stunning. But seriously, if I could, I would, you know. But if you like bigger watches and you want something truly special, truly unique, I can't recommend this enough. This is an absolutely pure class watch, and something you will not see that often, or you probably wouldn't see again in a lifetime, you know. And this is something that is so special about Sqaule, is that they really are stealth like that. Only the true watch aficionados know about this brand. I mean, obviously it's becoming more well known, but it is something special. Their heritage is unique. What they make are amazing, and so anyway. Oh, and lastly, I just think it's so cool to see that this is the 66th one out of 300. It's actually numbered. How unique and how special is that, huh? Just absolutely pure class. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it there because I'm just going to ramble and ramble on how much I love Sqaule, and I think you've heard enough. Alright guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. More videos Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. And I'll definitely catch you next time. Thank you very, very much for watching. Okay, ciao.